Or, you know, the thing is, I know that since everyone's been watching this video, a lot of you viewers have dreams of creating, or not viewers, friends, a lot of you friends have dreams of creating your own custom home. So why not start your vision board? What do you think?
I think that is the greatest thing to do, because there's a saying by a very popular writer, Napoleon Hill, and he basically outlines that if you can believe it, you can have it and you can see it. So the number one thing of seeing it is to believe it first. So if you believe it, your eyes will just show it up to you. The universe has to work on it.
I mean, you know, I know a lot of people always say, I can't afford a custom home. It's too expensive. It doesn't make sense. I don't want to even get involved with that.
Yep.
There's so many objections like behind
Of course.
home. But actually, it's so insane because it's like you're designing your dream home from top to
Of course.
and of course you have premium fixtures and upgrades that we don't even know exist, right? Like our mind
Correct.
can't even fathom these things. But
Yep.
if you know you go on Pinterest or you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram, there's
Yep.
so many beautiful homes that are designed so
Of
beautifully
course.
on the exterior, and they have so much beautiful fixtures interior. So
Yep.
I would kind of challenge everyone to do a little vision board. We can do a
Yep.
weekly vision board if you want, of your dream bathroom, of your dream kitchen, of your dream
Yep.
room. And I would like to do it. I think I'm gonna actually do it with my
It's
friends on
fun.
Instagram. Yeah, and
I
we'll
think
start.
it's a great idea. And I actually, that is the right way to start, because first the seed has to be there and the thought has to be there. Because once you give the mind a vision or a path to walk to, then it starts to work towards it. If you always tell your mind that I can't afford it, it goes like, okay. And it just gives up and it starts to do other activities. But if you actually tell your mind, instead of, there's a really good question that you can ask. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, the better question to ask is, how can I afford it? And once you ask yourself how I can afford it, your mind starts to work. Okay, you know what? I know this person, and you know what? I can connect these two people, and I can do some sort of a deal, and I can do some sort of a referral program. There's millions of ways to make money today, literally just even with your smartphone. And that's exactly what all the teenage kids are doing right now, and they're becoming millionaires.
Yeah.
They're doing extremely well.
Paid off of YouTube. So of course there's a way. So is that step one? Did I just give away step one, or
Step one, I think, yeah, I think vision board is the greatest start. Like I would start right there. And there's two ways of looking at a custom home. So one is a dream home, and then one is a home that fits your needs, right? Because as long as the home fits your and family needs, it doesn't need to have elevators, and it doesn't need to have like the fixtures imported from a different part of the world by this designer and so on. It could just be the right home for you, because the right home for you is your dream home.
so we
Is
can
that
get
simple.
like Egyptian tile?
Oh yeah.
We can
Yep.
get
Oh yeah, we have imported hardwood from different part of the world. We have tiles coming, some pictures coming from Italy, just because there's some designers and things like that. But that, those are all like the bells and whistles. Like to me, when I look at clients and I'm working with clients, my goal is not to provide them everything expensive, because not everything expensive is the right product just because it's expensive. The right product is the one that you're going to get 100% functionality out of, and something that you're going to love and use, and that fits your needs. So the first step would be the vision board, just like what you said. The next step would be to actually find out, okay, what is the total savings or investments that we have put together? It could be a single parent, or it could be the spouse, or it could be the group, whatever the family situation is. But I'd be like, okay, we have maybe say $500,000 all together. What can we do? Now, a lot of people don't know, but they think like building a custom home, they need all the money up front, which is not actually the case. So as you know, in real estate, you can, based on your credit, you can put down anywhere from 10 to 20% on a property, and you can acquire the property. So the next part will come down into budgeting for construction costs. Now, there's tons of companies out there who are B lenders. B lenders are known as anybody that's not the A. A lender would be like the bank, like somebody like Royal Bank, CIBC, TD. Now, B lenders understand that the homeowner is going to break down the home, and they're going to rebuild it. But once they rebuild it, the value of the home will be appreciated. And because they want to capitalize on some part of that appreciation, they give out the loan, and they're not afraid of the home breaking down, because the second the home breaks down, the A lender says, hey, I gave you the mortgage based on the home. Now the home doesn't exist. You got to pay me my money back. That's how the A lender mentality is. So the B lenders, they work different.
Now, so can I just jump in here? Sometimes the B lenders can be a lower interest rate, and sometimes. Okay, so so I would definitely suggest if you're interested in getting approved, and you go straight to your bank. Sometimes that may not be the best option. There are multiple options, including lower rates. And during this COVID-19 pandemic, I've been listening to a lot of my mortgage lenders tell me that there have been some leniencies with how much the lenders are giving out and the flexibility with the stress test. So I do think it's safe to explore that option.
Absolutely. And B lenders are just a way better deal because they don't want to interfere once you're doing the construction. They're actually very lenient. They care about the house being as built. So what they do is they normally send over their surveyor. The person visits the site. He looks at the house. They look at the neighborhood. They look at the as-built drawings, and then they actually incorporate the construction financing based on as-built. So it's not based on your existing home value.
Yeah. So I think that's like a really important. Yeah, I think that's a good option. So thanks for letting us know that you work with that, because I think that was the biggest myth. A lot of people thought, oh, a custom home needs to be paid off in cash. How am I going to be able to afford it? But it can be financed.
Absolutely. And it can be financed, and you actually just need the construction cash flow. So most of the time, the way B lenders work is, say the home is going to be demolished, then you got to do the foundation, and then we're going to do the framing. So based on per project, they'll set up like a draw system. So a house can be having maybe say 7 draws, 8 draws, 9 draws. Each draw means a payment. So you can actually split it up into multiple payments. So initially when we used to do it for investments and do flipping properties or so on, what we would do is we would set up anywhere from 7 to 8 payments. So we would be like, okay, once we demolish the house, we do the foundation and so on, we want to get our first draw. So initial cost would be, so how the bank works is they want to see you do the work. Once the work is done, they send over the examiner. They come, they check. Okay, the work is done. They initiate your payment. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pay for the work up front. And then the second the work is done, the examiner comes over, they look at the work done, they reimburse you. Then you use the same cash in order to do the next phase. So then the framing stage will go up. So you take the same funding, you go ahead, you order all your lumber, you order all your roof trusses, you order all your framing crew members, you do all the framing, you spend all the money. As soon as the stage is up, the bank comes over, they look at it, they validate, everything's done, they reimburse you. So it's actually just going to be recycled. So first you'll pay, then they'll pay you back. Then you'll pay, then they'll pay you back, and the whole system runs all the way down to completion. So most of the times you actually just need about 15 to 20% of the whole cost just to roll over. That's about it.
Wow, look at that, eh? That's pretty cool. And then you said time, in terms of timeline, how long is the process entirely for a custom home from start to finish?
All right, so if you're not gonna go for minor variance is basically, say, every city has their own limitations and their set boundaries for how the home needs to be built. But as you know, the city set these boundaries years ago, and a lot of developments have changed. The family needs have changed. The whole economy has changed. So what they have to do is, sometimes a house could have a really good lot, but maybe the city says you can only build X amount of square footage, which is not gonna happen. So what you apply is for minor variance. Minor variance is a property meeting that you go, you actually meet with the city, they discuss, you present your case, and if they approve it, they'll just approve the minor variance.
That's the longest part of the whole, that's the longest part of the process, right?
Correct. It can run anywhere from 3 to 6 months. 3 to 4 months if you get approved. If not, you will have to reappeal it, and then they'll tell you exactly what you need to change, and then there'll be another
6 months.
But that is the part that creates the most value for your build. Because as long as you can fight to build X amount of extra square footage, like there was a property we were building in the Bluffs. And our property, we wanted to add, Scarborough Bluffs. So I built multiple houses in there.
Nice.
Now, over there was a house that we had. We wanted to build a property, but we wanted to exceed the neighbor because we wanted to create more of a value. So when we flip the property, we actually are appraised at a higher value.
Okay.
Now, we had to fight an appeal for the minor variance. It took us about 3-4 months to go back and forth, but when we did it, we had about 250 square feet extra in our home compared to the rest of the homes. Now in there, when you list a home, that's a big deal, because that could be an extra bedroom, that could be an extra bathroom, that could be an extra sunroom, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Now, when you do the minor variance and say everything gets approved, your next phase is anywhere from 6 to 7 months based on cities. Oakville is pretty slow. Mississauga is good. Brampton is being really slow in their last build. Toronto is super fast. And Scarborough is not bad, which actually falls into Toronto now. Etobicoke and every other city. King City are plus and minus. Aurora, same thing. So each city has a whole different set of work departments, and some are way better and some are just slower. But you're going to just have to bite the bullet because you want your dream home.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would say if you like a specific area, then just get in touch with you and decide if this works. If you have a timeline, how do we cut that timeline in half?
So that's a really, really good question. That's actually a very intelligent question. Smart. So the second thing you can actually do is you don't need to go for a full custom build, because taking on a full build means you're going to have to learn the whole process. Then you're going to have to do all the architectural designs. Then you're going to have to do all the construction, demolish the whole house. So all the cost and the scope of work is at its maximum. Okay. The way to cut it in half is to actually cut the work in half. So which means you can actually buy a beautiful property that may be a 1-story. You can actually cut that in half and add a second story to it. So that will be called an addition. Now, I'm going to just give you some value. A lot of people don't know the cost of additions and extensions. So just to break it down, when you're going higher up, it's cheaper than to go further back, which is known as an extension. The reason for that is when you go further, which is extend the property, you have to start with the whole foundation. Now, if you skip the whole foundation part and you just go higher, you actually keep all of those budgets and you can reinvest it. So going higher is cheaper than going further back or going sideways.
That's a fun fact. Thank you. I bet everyone loves that. So what about is it laneways? I've seen a lot of people convert garages into.
Correct. Yes. Bedrooms and Airbnb apartments and offices and all types. Yes. What? I've seen that mostly in Toronto. I haven't seen it in too many other cities, but in Toronto, it's very popular.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, have you seen the outcome of the laneway? How does it look?
Of course, it's great. Yeah, we have actually done one laneway project. The permit gets approved. It's not bad because most of the people around the neighborhood, what happened is Toronto and some of the cities, they don't have any more space. So you can't really build outside. You can't go sideways because you just got these small lots. So the city is allowing a lot of contingencies or different types of builds. So they know that the families are growing and it's really expensive to move. So they're incorporating other types of approvals in the builds. So there was a garage that we were working on. We actually made it into a second apartment.
Oh, cool.
For the homeowner, which I think this was about like 3-4 years ago. I can't remember exactly, but it was quite a while back.
Do you mind showing us pictures of that if you still have it?
I don't know if I have that one. That was old. But I don't know if I have it. I gotta look for it. It's so old. You know what's so funny? Most of these jobs I don't remember until you even ask me these questions. As we've moved more into management, I'm able to incorporate all the pictures, take all the progress pictures and stuff like that.
That must be the funnest part, though, being able to see all the pictures, because I've been in a custom home before, and it's so beautiful, like to see what you can do to the bathroom, to see what you can do to the tiles. Like, it's just the beauty in the details, I guess.
Yes, I'll actually send you a video that if you want, you can share it. And it's a whole progress video of the home from A to Z, and it's done in a fast time.
Yes, I would love to share that. Absolutely.
And it shows the demolition, the next build, and it goes into all the phases. Maybe like a minute and a half, but it shows the whole house completed within a minute.
That's cool. Now you can do that because, I mean, there's so much technology out there.
It's tons, yeah. So based on the question that you asked, so right after evaluating the budget, and then figuring out which property fits. And then now, of course, the audience, they understand how the construction financing and everything else works. Next would be finding the right lot. Now, as you know, as a real estate agent, you never want to be the first custom home on the street. You probably want to be the third or the fourth because you don't want to be the 10th either because you're paying for all the appreciated value. So you want to go into a neighborhood that's still like fairly young and is just emerging and developing, because at there, you're going to appreciate the most. Now, if you go into the older lots are always wider and bigger, and they give a lot of footprint compared to the new properties that have been developed. Now, once you find the right lot, and I'm pretty sure you are the expert in there and you can help them out. So I'm not going to jump into that, your part. I'll let you do your thing. But right after finding the right property, even before people spend too much cash, there's an easy way to kind of figure out what the estimated cost would be. So we normally have about 3-4 different packages. So I have a starter pack, I have a silver, a gold, and a premium. So which validates what type of custom home the client would want to build. Because a lot of times clients approach us, they're like, hey, I like this house. How much? First question. And I haven't even asked anything, what type of fixtures, what type of wood, how many family members. Because people want to know, is this something they can handle? And if I was in this shows, that's probably the first question I would be asking. So what we did was we created a starter package, then a silver package, a gold package, and then a premium package. So I can be like, okay, if you start at the starter pack, your construction cost would be X amount. If you do something in the higher end, it'll be X amount. So normally, instead of giving one price to the client, we give about 4 different prices right away, because then they can see which one they fit into. And then they feel a lot more comfortable because they understand it's not one builder charging more than the other. It's actually the type of project that I'm planning that changes the price.
And it's the quality too, let's be honest.
Absolutely, 100%.
So if you want to have really great quality, and if you want, the project may take a little bit longer, but if you want a hands-on approach, you want quality fixtures, and you want durability, I would say to choose the right builder. And of course, just like agents, I know that, people are going to be interviewing builders, but remember that it's about communication and it's about quality. You're working with a builder, even if you're working with an agent, you want someone to give you the highest quality of service. That means they're giving you all of the knowledge up front. And so, I mean, right off the bat, you're providing so much knowledge, like more knowledge than ever before. I don't know any builders out there who provide this free game. So you're providing free knowledge, and I think that's key because you want to be able to call this. Listen, this process is going to take about 12 to 24 months. So you want to be able to call your builder, call the team, or call the PM, the project manager, and say, where are we at? This is what I'm scared of.
Absolutely.
The market,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's good that you brought up the word communication, because over time, as we were growing as a company, we found out that for us, we understand the building and the construction part. But for the homeowner, this is the first time. So they got tons of questions and they don't really know what to pick next or what to be ready for. Because sometimes the client would be asking me a question. We're like, hey, man, we don't need to know this until like 3 months later. But the thing is, they don't know that because all they know is the little parts of it. So what we incorporated was our own app. So we have our own app. The clients literally, they just log on.
That's what I was going to ask you about your CRM.
Yes. So we have our own project management app. They literally download our app right on the smartphone. Doesn't matter where they are. They're traveling to China, they're traveling to Bangladesh, they're traveling to Greece. It doesn't matter. Right away on your smartphone, it will show you exactly what the project is doing today. All the pictures get uploaded, all the upcoming schedules. I'm going to tell you something interesting about the upcoming schedule. So most of the times we put up the upcoming schedule so the client understands what we're doing next. What we found over time was once the clients knew what was coming next week, we were able to ask and design the right things with them because their mind knew, hey, next week we're going to be doing roofing. Baz, what is the options that I have in the roofing? I know we got to make a decision next week. So we were actually helping the clients think ahead 1, 2 weeks ahead, 3 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead. And they were actually able to make great decisions. And it wasn't like the other builders, hey, I need to know the roof. You got 2 days. We got to figure it out. What do you want to do? Is it A or B? So they were able to grow with us, make the right decisions. And because they were growing with us, there's no surprises because we lead with the right information and we help them manage the property. So we have our own app. We just share everything. They know the schedules. They know what the change orders are. They know what the items that are being done. And if there's anything that needs to be changed, it's outlined. And my project managers, they literally write everything that got done that day at the home. So sometimes people get home busy from work. They want to know what happened today. They just go on the daily log and all the information. Hey, this got done today. We need to confirm this item. This item we found we need to change. Could you please confirm this? And we'll write the whole list. And the whole point is is least amount of phone calls because everybody's busy, especially the homeowners.
Yeah.
So if we can give them all the information.
The texting gets muddy as well, right? So it's like,
exactly.
Yeah. Wow, that is a lot of value. And that was on my notes to ask you about the CRM. So I thank you that you're ahead of the game here.
No problem. And you know what's so interesting is everybody has a different creative hour. So sometimes people are more creative at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, but they can't call the builder at that time. So now they got to become creative at 7 o'clock in the evening when they're so busy with the kids. So our app allows them, if they're creative at 2 in the morning and that's the time they have, they respond to us. We just get back to them first thing in the morning, which is really, really
let's
helpful.
paint a picture here. You have the CRM, so you have a model for clients, for all of your clients to be able to track the progress of your work. So during the process, and that is so key, guys. Like if you've never been through a pre-construction condo or house, or if you have never been through a new build, you will not see the value in this, but it is especially important because if you have a project that will be due in about 2 years or in about 3 years, and you need to choose the fixtures, you need to see the progress, you need to see what they did that day, where your money is going, then it is so important that this model exists. Because you can literally, your house can be being built right now in Stouffville, and you can, let's say you're on a vacation somewhere in India, with your family, you want to know, I want to make sure my roof is up to date. I want to make sure you guys did the right inspection. So I definitely think it's so valuable.
Yes, and even with most of the people, they email information back and forth. And by the time you're done your project and you got to confirm something, you got 50 different emails. How do you organize all that information and the content? So our app helps you keep all. So we have different folders. All the building permit drawings are in one folder. All the change orders are in one folder. All the fixtures are in one folder. All the designer finishes are in one folder. So everything is super organized. If I need something, I literally just go click 3-4 buttons and I bring it up. And sometimes I even need it when we're doing inspections. But we can access information like this, and even home inspectors, they normally, what app are you using? I'm like, oh, it's our own. We created it. It's like, nice. And when they see us,
from scratch.
Yeah, well, we ran with a platform. I'm not an IT guy, but I need some IT brains with me. And sometimes when they see the builders are super organized like that, they want to work easier, and they're a lot more lenient in the build because they see the organization that's within the team.
That's a huge selling point, is that app. That is probably, if not the only reason why, aside from many other reasons why I would work with you, that would be the number one reason you would be top on my list.
Absolutely,
not to, make your head big or anything, but
no, of course not.
So important. No, it is. It's like super key, because if there's no tracking tool, and I say that, Baz, I like a blue wall instead of a purple wall. And you go and you put a green wall.
Yeah, and you won't know about it until you come to the house. And when you're coming home, you got to get excited. You don't want to get mad and be like, oh my God, I told him blue and he put in pink. And your whole visit becomes horrible. So when we incorporate that, it makes, and the main thing that I love about our system is the transparency. There's nothing hidden. As the thing is progressing, every image is taken. So you know the work got done 100%. It's got inspected. It has pictures. It has proof. If there's anything we need to go back 4 months later. We can just figure out 4 months ago exactly the pictures. What's your question? How did my light get installed? What was done? We can just go right back to it. This is the picture. And everything is complete transparency.
Okay, and because this is a custom home, guys, I want to let you know that you have options. So, guys, I'm sure that, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to assume that you have multiple custom options for them for specific fixtures.
Absolutely, yeah.
Doorknobs, light fixtures, and they can go in and they can actually see the price.
Absolutely, yeah.
If they want to choose that or not, right?
Yep, absolutely. So what they do is they normally work with a designer, because I'm a builder and we want to give the best of everything to the client. So in our initial design process, once the architectural designs and everything is all done, then the clients normally work with a preferred designer for that area who specializes in that sort of a build in that neighborhood, because we don't want to just put one person for everything. We want to give them the best in each segment. So we get the preferred designer. We'll be like, okay, this client and this designer are gonna go really well together. So we know that they're gonna enjoy working with every single team member along the way. Because the process is already complicated, let's make it fun.
Yeah, we should. Okay, so that was step one, I guess. So we wrapped up step one?
Yes. So let's finish up step one. And then next week, what we can do is we can go into a little bit more in additions and how to create value in additions. So what type of additions create value? What type of additions extract too much funding and you're not going to get the best bang for your buck? And then we can go more into the construction side. Whatever you prefer, you're the boss. Let me know.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time today, Baz.
You're most welcome.
Right before we say adios to everybody, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So this week we covered step one of custom building. And so what we basically went over was how much it can cost, how to achieve financing. And I guess the number one thing that everyone should take away is start creating your vision board. Now,
Beautiful.
if you are not interested in building a custom home, but you're flirting with the idea, or you enjoy our videos and you want to play with this idea and run with it, I'm actually down to create a little challenge with you guys. So Baz actually told me that there is an app called Vision Board. So if you do not want to print your pictures and post it on the wall, which I think you should, because I think it's a great idea to see that every single day. You can download the app. I'm going to post the app online on my Instagram and Facebook and YouTube so that you can see what app to download so that you can plug in those pictures. And so Baz, just suggest to me where we should be selecting pictures for. So
starting from the whole outside. So I will actually start with my favorite car. I will start with the whole environment of what type of home I like. What do you like it near the water? Do you like it near the forest? Do you like it on a ravine? So I would start with a big picture first and then narrow the focus down into the more segment. Okay, so if you already have kids or you want to have kids, okay, how many bedrooms would you want? What type of bathroom? Do you like rain shower? Do you want the water drop from the ceiling? Do you want Bluetooth? Do you want spray jets? Or do you want or maybe you just want a beautiful freestanding tub near a big window so you feel like you're just in your own personal spot. So it could be anything.
So that is actually such a great idea. I was thinking so small picture here, but you put something in my universe. So you're right, guys. What we should all do is we're coming back next Wednesday. We record on Wednesday, so we'll be posting on Thursdays. And by next Thursday, what I am going to do is I am going to be posting people's vision boards. Now, I'm not going to include any names, and your vision board is going to be private to you. But I want you to share it with us so that we can see what we're inspiring, and maybe we can help create your dream home.
This is amazing. I love this. This is the best part of the video. It got me excited. I think I'm going to redo my vision board.
I don't even have a vision board for a home. So this is exciting. Beautiful. I'm really excited to start this.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So where are we going? So we start with like the outside of the home, the environment, the neighborhood, the exterior, like what kind of model you like?
Of course, because I'm more of a minimalist. I like the more modern design, not so much traditional, but I like some sort of a traditional element incorporated in it. So what you can do is you can pick, okay, do I like a modern home? Do I like a transitional home? Do I like a traditional home? There's three main things right away. So modern is everything flat with big windows like the ones you've seen. Transitional would be,
they're all over my Instagram.
Yes, and transitional would be a mix of traditional and modern that brings in more into the shaker styles. Some are traditional panels, some wood incorporated, and then there's the traditional ones with the peaks and so on and the windows. So start with a big, so start with the outside, find out which type of home you like, what kind of ambience you want to have, and then when you walk in, you can also pick and select. Do you want, as soon as you walk in, do you want the roof open to above? Do you want a big chandelier hanging? Do you want some wainscoting around the dining room, so when you're entertaining guests? And would you like some smart system? The second you walk in a home, say lights, everything turns on, the music goes on. So there's so many ways to play with it.
Do you want Bluetooth showers?
Absolutely.
30-foot aquarium in the middle of your house with sharks in it. Whatever you want, let's make it possible. I think anything is possible once you, if you visualize it and if you can see it. I think it can come to life.
Absolutely. Well said.